Hello, Happy New Year. Thank you for tuning in. If you are live with me, please let me know in the comment section. And today I am kicking off the session with resume review. And I'm offering resume review for free. So if you want to get your resume review by me, you do want to, there's a couple of things you have to do. First things first, you do have to join the live session. Hop on. Here's the link to hop in the studio with me. So you have to be in the studio of StreamYard that I'm using. It will be first come, first serve basis. So I've dropped the link. And if you can see me, let's see if I'm live on LinkedIn first. Okay, so I am live on LinkedIn. Here is the link to hop on. I've dropped the link. So if you want to get your resume review, please drop it, hop on in the studio, and then I will be able to review your resume. If you don't want to publicly have your resume reviewed, then obviously you can't get the free resume review, but you can always book a private resume review with me and I'll be happy to do a private review with you. And I do charge a small little fee of $50 to review resumes privately. So you are more than welcome to do that as well. So before I kick off the resume review session, I'm doing round two. I did round one earlier this afternoon and it was a great success, had so many people join. But I wanted to go over a couple of things. There are 8 key elements that your resume needs to have in order for you to start landing interviews. So I'm just going to pull out my slides from my resume writing course and I'm just going to share one slide from it so that you understand the key elements that your resume needs to have in order for you to start landing interviews. Okay, so give me just one second. Okay, so let's share this. Uh-oh. Give me one second. Don't know what went wrong here. Okay, something's happening. Give me one second. Sorry, guys, having technical difficulty here. You know what? I'm just going to share it without going into... Okay, so let me share my screen. And there are... Okay, so there are key elements that your resume needs to have. These are the 8 key elements that I'm going to go over that your resume needs to have. So the key elements your resume must have, this is based by psychology, that your resume needs to have so that you can start landing interviews. Number 1, scroll stopper. Okay. So your resume has to basically stop somebody from, you got to keep in mind that we live in a world where we're prone to scrolling. We're on our phone scrolling, we're scrolling LinkedIn feeds, social media feeds. And the same thing is happening when recruiters are going through their resumes. They're just scrolling through. So the first thing your element that your resume has to have is it has to be a scroll stopper to grab the attention. So you got 5 seconds, less than 5 seconds to do that. Next thing is you got to be able to communicate your value right away. So you have to communicate the value you bring to the table. Now, the value isn't I have the skills, I have this experience, I'm good at this. That's not value add to the other person. So you have to understand the value add to the other person. In this case, it's the hiring manager or the recruiter, basically the hiring manager. So, what value add are you adding to the hiring manager? How would the hiring manager benefit from hiring you? How would they be profitable? How would they profit from hiring you? And that's your value add here. The next third element that your resume needs to have is the language. You have to communicate in the language of your reader, in this case, the hiring manager. Okay, so what I'm finding is a lot of people are just copying pasting job descriptions and writing their resumes and then speaking in the language that you're used to speaking and the terminologies that you're used to using. But the simple thing you can do to make your life easy is to simplify your resume in the language and use the same terminologies and wordings that, for example, let's say it's a job description you came across or the job posting, speak in the same language as the job posting. So simplify your language, but you want to speak in the hiring manager recruiter's language, not yours. The fourth element your resume needs to have is storytelling. Your your resume needs to tell a story. Your resume needs to take the reader on a journey. Your resume needs to be read in a way where when someone's reading your resume, they can visualize what they're reading. Okay, number fifth thing is you want to communicate transformation stories. So one of the key elements is that when we're in our roles, we are transforming processes, we're transforming the organizations, and this is where we have to use key matrix. What I found a lot of mistakes people are making from the resumes I reviewed earlier today is a lot of people are using matrix, but they're just throwing some percentages, but then it doesn't tell a complete story. So when we're going to use percentages, we do want to tell the before and after, and that's a transformation. For example, if you reduced time, for example, in a process, then you have to explain what it was before you implemented the solution that helped reduce the time. So you have to tell those transformation story. The sixth key element your resume needs to have is OMG factor, oh my God factor. This is where the emotions have to kick in. Human beings are driven by emotions and feelings. When you can make someone feel things, when you can make them the emotions of, oh my God, this is the perfect candidate, now we're getting them ready to take action. So, feelings and emotions on the way the reader feels, it's really important. So, we have to have OMG factor. The next element in your resume is FOMO factor, fear of missing out. So when the reader's reading their resume, we got them to, oh my God, you're the perfect candidate. Now we got to create some urgency that if they don't take an action right now, they're going to miss out on the number one, the best candidate ever. So we have to create that urgency, and that's where the fear of missing out, we have to create that emotion. The next emotion we want to do is turn the reader into a raving fans. Usually the people that are reading your resume when you're submitting it online are always HR or recruiters. So like people like myself, I have 20 years of recruitment experience. I work in HR, corporate HR for 20 years. I've done tons of hiring. And I can tell you the key element when I'm reading a resume is when I can become a raving fan of the person, the candidate's resume reading, I automatically go and pitch that person to the hiring manager and get them to want to interview you. So you want to turn the reader into your raving fan. So automatically they go and pitch you. So these are the key elements that are really important in your resume. Okay. Now, if you want to learn how to do all this is why I put my resume writing course together. and I'm offering it at 50% off. But I wanted to share these 8 elements that are based from psychology that your resume needs to have in order for you to create an interview-worthy resume that lands you interviews fast and instantly. Okay, so I hope this helps. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. Happy to comment. Yes, this is definitely being recorded. Save this, bookmark the link so that you can catch the replay, and the replay access will be available. Okay, so let's begin the resume review. I'm going to dedicate about roughly an hour because I can only do 1 hour before I tap out of my energy to view resumes. So the way this is going to work is, so a couple of things here first. I want to explain how this process is going to work. It is first come, first serve. So I will only review resumes for another hour, and how many ever resumes I can get done, I'll be able to do. What you need to do is you need to be on the live call with me in the studio. I see there's 4 people already. Number 2 thing is you have to have your resume ready to go so you can share your screen when I call your name. So those that are already in the studio with me, if you want to go next and you want your resume review, you need to drop it in the private chat so I know who to call on. Once I call your name, please be ready to share your screen with your resume. And if you don't know how to do that, read the guide on how to share. It's really simple. You have to have the screen open, click on present, and then click on share screen, and you'll be able to share your screen. So let's get the ball rolling. Who wants to get your resume review? Tell me. Okay, Vardhaman.
Yes, thank you. I will share my screen.
Perfect.
Is it visible?
Yes. Okay, perfect. So tell me, are you currently looking for a job?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been job searching?
So I just graduated, but it has been around 6 months of my search. So I've applied to more than 100 companies by now. And I have got like few interviews specifically for product management, around 5 or 6, I would say, in the meantime.
How many jobs? Sorry, how many jobs did you apply to?
More than 100. It could be more than 100, 150.
Okay, 100. Okay, let's go 150. Out of the 150, how many first call interviews did you get? First
So
call.
got six of them.
6.
Yeah. Yes.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Your resume is only converting into interviews 4% of the time.
Yeah, I usually used to apply for this. This is a new one as well. So haven't tried this out in the market.
Okay, so your last resume was converting for 4% of the time.
Yeah, this one. Yes.
Okay. Which resume am I reviewing? Sorry, you just flipped the
Yeah,
screen
this
on
one.
me.
This one. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm only will be reviewing one resume.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. What salary are you looking for?
So nearly about 100 to 150. Because I
100 and
have.
150 is a big range.
Okay.
So what do you want? What salary do you want?
So according to the companies I'm applying for, and for product management roles, I have seen a few companies come around 100, but few companies are ranging from 120 to
Okay.
150. That's yeah. So
What do you believe you're worth?
I would say 100, 120. Let's start with that.
Okay, so if you believe you're 100, 120, then just give 100, 120. Don't say 100 to 150K because that's a 50K big gap between 100 and 150K,
Yeah. Okay.
right? So the
Yeah.
first step is you have to be confident in what you want.
Okay.
So and when you want to land a job, the first step is confidence. If you're not confident, then that energy goes into when you're writing the resume. And the other people will feel that vibration when they're reading your resume. They're going to feel the low confidence energy, and that will automatically, that's the power of our energies. Is we can have the most shittiest resume, but if we're so confident and we're like, yeah, I'm going to land the interview, our vibrations at the level, you're going to land interviews. We're all energy driven human beings, and we're impacted by energies without even knowing it. So the first key step is be 100% confident in your own ability. Second thing is be confident in what is it that you want. Third, be confident in the how much money you want. Don't let other people influence you to believe otherwise.
Yeah, I thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome. Even in the interviews, it's honestly the whole game is confidence. If you're not confident, you're gonna end up struggling in the interview, in landing interviews, as well as acing those interviews to then converting them into job offers. So this is a tip for everybody: really own what you want, and really 100% be confident in your ability, what you do, and be really proud of the work you've already accomplished in your career, and be very proud of it. You have to be your own champion before someone can be your champion. Okay,
Yeah.
so that being said, let's go into your resume. When I look at your resume, just kind of an overview, if you want a figure role, then you need to present at that level. So presentation of your resume needs to be at a six-figure level. Second, I need to see a six-figure candidate. And then when it comes to six figures, you really need to spell out how a company will profit from you. Because if someone's going to invest 100K or 120K and paying you 120K, because when it's hiring is an investment. Companies are making an investment when they're hiring. So just like anybody, if you've ever invested money, I'm just going to mute you because there's a lot of background noise on your end. So that everyone can hear me, because this is being broadcast live. When it comes to when companies are hiring, they're making an investment. What happens when we're making an investment? If anybody in the audience have ever invested money, be it you put into saving accounts, you look at the higher interest rate, you've bought stocks, you've invested in money in real estate. When we are investing money, we're always looking at the greater return, right? We want a return, and how much return can we get? The higher return, the greater the return we can get, the more likely we're able to invest our money in that, be it whatever options we have available. And that's exactly what hiring is. When companies are hiring, they're making an investment, because investment is money. They have to pay your salary. They have to pay for your medicals, health and benefits, employee programs, retention strategies, the whole nine yard, right? So this all requires money. The company has to pay money from their pocket to you, pay for your benefits and all that. So it's an investment. So when we understand it's an investment, we automatically need to understand the company's looking for ROI. So first step in a successful resume is, do you have to first understand the ROI that you will generate for companies. So it's not saying, hey, hire me because I have X amount of years experience, I have these skills. You have to say, hey, listen, when you hire me, here's the ROI you're going to get. And you have to spell that out in terms of money. If you hire me, I will be able to do X for you, which is going to reduce your cost of, let's say, labor cost or project cost, in your case, product manager, um, by X amount of money. But you have to spell out the money, right? So when I look at this resume, one, I don't see that. I see a lot of fluff information, as I'm a product manager. I can manage and develop end-to-end delivery of mobile and web apps, right? But you're failing to connect the dot with the money aspect, and that's always going to then work against you. My goal is to help you get the maximum salary that you should be able to get based on the problems you solve and results you deliver. The next piece is so I like to replace the entire section of product manager summary. Instead of having a product manager summary, you should have a value proposition statement. And I, with confidence, can tell you don't know how to write one, because your brain, everybody's been programmed to only write profile summaries. So when I say you need to write unique value proposition statement, I know people don't know how to write it. You automatically think it's similar to what you already have and just make a little tweak. It's actually not. It's a complete different method. So unique value proposition is, again, about how would the company benefit from you, the benefit the company is going to get from hiring you, what's the ROI you're going to get for them, return on the investment, how would the company profit from hiring you. So the key isn't about talking about yourself. Key is to make it about them. And that's what a value proposition is, the value they're going to get from hiring you, not what you're going to get by working with them. Instead of having the core competencies, we want to create a skills section where we actually list our skills. And then the work experience, instead of saying oversaw the development and delivery of AI-driven management platform implemented across 4 major product portfolios. So if you see your first bullet, oversaw the development and delivery of an AI-driven risk management platform implemented across 4 manager, just that alone doesn't make sense. You oversaw development and delivery of an AI-driven risk management platform implemented across 4 major product portfolios, resulting in proactive risk estimation with 89. See that whole sentence? That whole bullet doesn't make sense. You're trying to communicate. I don't know what you're trying to communicate. The minute I'm reading a resume and I don't understand what you're trying to say, I'm not going to sit there and read it 2-3 times to make sense of it. I'm going to flip and go to the next. I'm going to delete. I'm going to cancel you, put an X on you, reject you, and go to the next resume. Because when you're applying to jobs online, keep in mind, one important factor that everybody has to remember is that you're dealing with competition. When you apply to jobs online, it's competitive. You're in a competition. So it's the best performer is going to win. In this case, the person who has written the best resume that communicates clearly, precisely, and takes that reader on that journey, the 8 elements I covered before I reviewed this resume, will be the one that lands the interview. So your resume is definitely missing the 8 elements that I went over. But your bullets don't tell a story. Now, how should one's resume look like? I'm just going to quickly share how your resume needs to be structured and set up. Now, again, this is based from psychology based. Everyone's resume has to be, first of all, it has to be scannable to the human eye. Now, the way I've designed this resume, by the way, this resume is designed by me. I did write it for one of my clients. For privacy issues, I have removed their personal information and just put my name on it. Now, first format of the resume, this is scannable to a human eye. When a recruiter does get your resume or HR, the first things we do is we just scan. We scan. Okay, we're not going to sit there and read your resume. We're just going to scan. So the first step that your resume needs to be is scannable. Your resume has to be designed for the human being to be able to easily scan. So we call this scannable. So this is based from psychology. The way psychology science research has proven the way people scan things is in multiple ways, right? So to make something really easy for a human to scan, we have to throw in different elements in the mix. So if you notice that I have this is centered, then I have this as a paragraph, then I have 2 sentences, each starting with bold. Then I have the skill table, which is easy to navigate. And then, by the way, this is ATS friendly resume. Then when I get to this career section, my career history, I have a hook statement. First, I listed the company, the location, my job title, my timelines is clearly outlined. It's March 2023, and I'm currently working in this role. I do have a hook statement that grabs the reader's attention, making a scroll stopping. And then in a paragraph summary, I summarize what I'm doing. And then bullets I use to talk about results. Now, the pairing, the way this resume is paired, this makes it easy to scan to the human being. So the way we position, so that's the first step in the format is we have to make it scannable. If you look at it, there are certain things that are bolded, key highlighted to draw attention, to grab attention, so the eye automatically goes there. But if you had everything in a bullet, it doesn't make it easy to the human eye to scan. So again, this is designed based on psychology to have your resumes scannable, so it's easy for the human being to scan. Okay. Also, you have to make it ATS friendly. So now going back to your resume. So those are the things that are missing. Conducted 30 plus user interview cross engineering marketing. Okay, you just grouped everything into one and say you conducted user interviews. But again, there's no results. I don't know. That's great that you can conduct user interviews, but what's the purpose behind it? Don't know. Reduce QA and DVEP efforts by 23% by creating product requirements. I don't know if you really did reduce the QA and develop efforts, but I'm not even sure what did you reduce because you don't tell. You just say reduce QA. So just reading the 3 bullets, I can tell you the mistakes you're making. The 3 mistakes you already made in the first experience, you're going to carry that out in all the other experience sections. So your bullets are not clearly communicating. They're confusing to read. I don't understand what you're saying. The biggest thing is you're kind of like just generalizing and explaining what you're doing in the role instead of really focusing on the problem solve solutions you've implemented and the results you got in. Okay. Hope that helped.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. I do have a question. Now do you know how to write a resume that's gonna land you interviews?
Not really sure.
Okay, so I do have a special treat for you and everybody else to help make life easy. I actually am giving away my resume writing course at 50% off. That's already helped thousands of people write resumes and land interviews instantly, fast, with top-notch companies. Grab my interview resume writing course at 50% off. I'm going to teach you how to write a resume, plus you get ChatGPT prompt scripts as well as templates done for you, template for a resume, also a clean resume template that's going to help you, the one I just showed you. The final product, your resume is going to look like the one I just showed you.
Okay. Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
So I have tried both one pagers and two pagers, but with 4.5 years experience, what would you recommend? Should I go for a two pager itself?
Yes, never do a one-page resume. One-page resumes are just a myth. And also, one-page resumes are only targeting one type of group of people. When it comes to hiring, so in my interview resume writing course, I go over 5 types of different recruiters that you need to impress. You can't write one-page resume only targets one type of people. But as human beings, we can't group people into one box and say this is how everybody wants it, which is not true. Also, I interviewed 8 people for my interview resume course that are VPs, hiring managers, and recruiters, and they also tell you why you shouldn't have a one resume. None of them said they want a one-page resume. What they're focusing on is the relevant information that they want in the resume that's going to help them get you the interview, right? What they're looking for in the resume, and that's also what I put in my bonus in for my resume writing work course. You're also going to get that session with them where they spill all the tea on what they're looking for a resume, and nobody really cares if it's 1 page or 2 page or 3 page. What really matters is the relevant content. In the end of the day, it's actually the content, the messaging, what you're writing. Can someone understand it? Stop writing job descriptions and start focusing on writing result based resumes that showcase what results companies can get for you. But it also has to be written for that one job you're applying to. Okay. Any other
One more,
questions?
yeah. So, I apart from being having experience, I just completed my masters, but I have a lot of projects which I worked on during that. So, should I showcase that those as well, or should I focus more on the experience because I have that?
Sorry, what?
So I just graduated from completed my masters. So I have few projects which I worked on, which are relevant to the role I'm applying for. So should I showcase that as well, or should I focus more on the experience itself?
You can showcase that if that is relevant in helping you land the job that you want. In the end of the day, it's all about relevance to the role you're applying to.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I do have a request. Once you get your resume review, if you can just exit the studio so that other people can. There's a lot of people waiting in to get into the room because the room's already full. Just grab the link. You can go on LinkedIn and continue watching, so you still don't you still grasp any more new teachings. Because as I review resumes, I do end up teaching a lot based on what I'm seeing as well. So you still want to watch the live, and just go onto the LinkedIn to watch it. But I do request, once I do review your resume, and this is for everybody, once I review your resume, please just exit the room so that so that other people can get into the room. Okay. So if you're in the studio with me, you do have to type in the private chat that you want to go next. I'm going based on the people who have already said they want to go next, and I'm going to be calling on that name. Okay. Bansal. Bansal? And then once I call your name, please have your screen ready to share so we can move quickly. I will only wait a couple of seconds. If you don't have your resume up and running and shared, I will be moving on to the next person. So Bansal, are you ready? Don't see your resume. Last call? No? Okay. Next person is Vanshaj. Vanshaj? Are you still in the room?
Hi, Gurpreet. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to review the resume.
You're
So, is
welcome.
my screen visible?
Nope.
Uh, uh, just give me a moment. Just give me a second.
So please have your resume, guys, ready to share. I will not, due to the overwhelming response, and there's so many people that want to get their resume reviewed. Just to be fair to everybody, you only get few seconds to share your screen. If you're not able to share your screen, I am going to move to the next person. So the onus is back
Yeah.
on you. If you want the free resume, because this is free. But again, I cannot devote so much time waiting. So please have your resume ready to go, ready to review, so that I can move along quickly. So I do want to get as many as I can. Only have 30 more minutes. Okay.
Yeah, Gurpreet, is my screen visible? Yeah.
Are you currently looking for a job?
Yeah. So, the thing is that, like,
Okay, so,
currently
no,
I'm
no,
pursuing. Yeah. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
just wait. Just answer yes or no. So you're looking for a job?
Okay.
Yes. Okay. What job opportunity? What role do you want?
So, Gurpreet, I'm just like looking for like the business analytics
Okay,
roles.
so you
Like,
want
and yeah.
business analyst role. How long you been job searching?
So it's just like I have started like
3
looking
months, four
for the
months?
job.
Just
Yeah.
just
It, Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Vijay, just
So
answer short
yeah,
answers,
so it's just
please.
like I've just like started looking for the jobs like starting
So is
like
it two
this year.
weeks? Has it been okay? Has it been a
Yeah,
week? Okay, you just
yeah,
started.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, how many jobs have you already applied to? Have you applied to jobs or not?
I'm just like applying for the jobs as because like I'm looking for new grad roles starting
Okay,
April.
okay.
So yeah,
Vishaj, please just short
yeah,
answers. How long have you been
yeah,
applying to
sure, sure.
job? It's to say, hey, it's been a week or it's been 2 weeks. You
Got it,
don't need
got
to.
it. Yeah,
I don't need elaborate answer. I just want to get straight to the point.
yeah, 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 for sure.
Okay, so how many jobs have you applied with this resume? 100,
Uh,
200, 10, 20, what?
maybe like yeah, between like maybe like 50 jobs as of
50
now. Yeah,
jobs.
in a week. Yeah.
Out of the 50 jobs you applied to, how many people have called you first call?
No calls as of now.
No calls. Okay. So number one
Yeah.
thing problem I see right off the bat is your resume isn't ATS friendly format. So
Mm,
that's going to create some
yeah.
problems. So a lot of like some ATS applicant tracking systems, when I say ATS, I mean applicant tracking systems, some of them can read this format. So your format right now is column based. Some ATS can read it and some still can't read this column based resume. So a simple
Yeah.
rule of thumb is to make your resume ATS friendly, no columns, no tables, no graphics. You can have graphics. If you want ATS to read anything, it can be graphics. It just has to be simple text. No tables, no columns. So this is not an ATS friendly resume. And that's probably why could create some barrier in the you landing interviews. So that's the first thing that you need to change is the format, keep it simple. Just like the one I
Got it.
showed earlier. Now
Yeah.
you have 3 years of experience. Can you zoom in?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so you're saying you have 3 years of experience, but then you go into saying you did summer intern. So now that's conflicting.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is it? Do you have experience or you are a new grad? The key is how you
I have experience.
okay,
Yeah.
so if you have experience, I would not position a remote analyst as a summer intern. I would remove the summer intern and you can just put it's a contract role.
Okay.
And
Got
make
it.
all this into so it's really important how you position yourself because the minute you're saying 3 years and then someone says intern, they're not going to connect the dot. I'm pretty sure you did an internship because you're in a master's program.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, just because you're upgrading your skills and you're taking a master's program doesn't mean you have to start from zero. And I don't know why your master's program made you do internships, but that's besides the point. But the key is how we take those internships, and we don't want to say we're intern because that would diminish your value to the reader. And you can
Got it. Got it.
easily get lowballed by companies. So the key is how we take so the key is how we position it. So remove the internship, and I would rewrite all this like you are basically you're see these all these bullets under that internship. You're just talking about what you've done in the role, but we want to position you as somebody who can get results and solutions, solves problems, implement solutions. So your entire bullets has to be um, results. You want to talk about your success stories in each of the roles and not job description.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it,
So
Gurpreet.
that's my feedback on your resume. Your entire resume does need a total revamp. A lot based on what I was earlier. I showed a format and I did go over 8 elements your resume needs to have. But the biggest thing is your resume has to scream. Like I'm not sure why you have projects on the side. I'm a firm believer if you already have work experience, then you shouldn't be positioning yourself as a student and then do your resume like a student would do it. Because then getting a
Got it.
master's
Got it.
is
Got
more
it.
of a upskilling, right? Master's is upskilling. You're not a
Yeah.
new grad. The other thing is I
Yeah.
would remove Bangalore, India, because in Canada, companies have FOMO. of new immigrants. Oh my God, you don't have Canadian experience. So you do want to remove anything that will remotely suggest that you don't have Canadian experience. So I would remove that. Amazon's a great organization. What you want to do is, again, position yourself as somebody who gets results, the problems you solved, so that you come across as the candidate of, you want to be the candidate of choice, and stand out of the competition.
Got it. Got it. And then yeah, this is like
Okay?
the
Yeah,
another
I don't need to
row.
see. I don't need to see
Yeah,
all the experience. Whatever
got it.
mistakes you made in the first, you're pretty much doing it in all the experience sections. But I would
Got it.
say you do need a total revamp of this resume.
Got it. And Gurpreet, I just like have one question. For example, if I'm like pretty much like interested in showing the my internship with the BMO, so is it like if I like remove the summer intern and like portray it as a contract role, so would that be fine, or I should not include it to
Sorry,
highlight the Canadian experience?
for which one?
For like the first one as like the
The
internship
reporting
which
analyst.
I did. So can I
Um,
portray? Yeah, yeah.
I would like, if you're looking for business analyst, I'm not sure how reporting analyst ties into business analyst, so there's a disconnect there. I would maybe
Okay.
just so now I'm gonna say some advice that's kind of like a white lie. You do want to kind of manipulate your job titles to reflect the role you actually want to land, and then all you don't want to talk about reporting. You want to talk more on the business analyst, because isn't that the role you want? And then the
Yeah.
same thing with the automation analyst. So there's a huge disconnect from what you want. You want a business analyst role, but none of your entire resume isn't BA related.
Got it. Yeah.
So it's you have to write the resume for the role you want, not the roles you're already done. A
Got
lot of
it.
times what we're doing is we're writing for the roles we already have and done versus writing for the role we want. So there has to be, that's where the key element of how we present our information, the messaging for each of the bullets, what are we presenting matters, because your resume has to be in totally BA, which I don't see at all. So analyst is there, which is great. See, analyst piece is there, but I would
Yeah.
take, instead of saying, maybe call it business automation analyst. And you can say
Yeah.
business reporting analyst. You can just add the word business
Yeah.
and fine tune it that way. But in the end of the day, your entire, whatever bullets you're gonna write, the information you write has to be in alignment with BA's work.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Thank you. Thank
Otherwise,
you so much, Gurpreet, for the
you're
insights.
welcome.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna end up getting a low paying entry level BA role, and you don't want that because you already have 3 years of experience.
Yeah. 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 I got you, and I'll just like modify it accordingly. Thank you. Thank you for the constructive feedback, Gurpreet. Thank you so much.
Okay. See who wants to go next. So this was Saj. I would request if you can just exit out of the studio so that other people can go. Okay, Sankit, are you still here? No? Okay, Vanilla, is it?
Great. I'm ready
Uh,
to share my screen.
Sorry, how do you pronounce your name?
Vanilla.
Vanilla, so it's like vanilla.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Love vanilla. Love the flavor of vanilla. Okay, so you ready to have your
Yes.
resume? Perfect.
Yes. Is my screen visible?
Yep. No, actually, no. Sorry, I don't see your screen. Okay, while you figure that out, I'm gonna have to move on. Okay, I'll come back to you. Monica? Hello, Monica? No? Okay, Meet. If you don't want a resume
Yes.
review, just feel free to. If you don't want a resume review, please please do exit the studio so that those that do want a resume review are able to hop on and get their resume review. Okay. So if I don't see your name, if you don't want a resume review, please do leave the studio so that other people have an opportunity to get their resume review. Okay. So Ronald, I don't know if you want a resume review, but since you didn't ask, if you're not looking for a resume review, again, please do exit the studio, giving other people an opportunity to hop on and get the resume review.
Hello.
Okay, Meet.
Hi. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. So yeah, here's my resume.
Okay, so are you currently looking for a role
Yeah, from May.
since May?
Yeah.
Okay, how many jobs have you applied to?
Like I just started last week to 2030, but probably from this week and next week I'll apply.
I thought you said you're looking for a job since May.
No, from from May 2025, I can work full time. So I'm looking for job after 4 months.
Okay, so can I just skip you? Not to be rude, but can I prefer to give someone an opportunity who's currently looking for a role.
Uh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, Vanilla, are you ready? So those that are joining, you do have to write in the comment section in the private chat that you want to go next. So Vanilla, you ready?
Yes. Can you see my screen, Gurpreet?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, are you currently looking for a role?
Yes. I'm looking for a data analyst.
Okay, how long have you been searching?
It's been around 2 weeks.
It's been around, oh, so you just started your search.
Yes.
Okay, are you getting interview calls?
Not yet.
2 weeks. Okay, we'll see if you get any calls during this week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, how many pages is this resume?
It's just one.
I already know because I saw the format. Okay, you need to make this resume not one page, turn it into 2 page. Second thing is don't lead with education. Education should be on the last page. You can write down your credentials right behind your last name. So you can write your master's letters and your Bachelor of Technology letters right behind your last name right away. That tells someone that what your credentials are. All your credentials should be on the last page of your resume, not in the beginning. You want to lead with claiming what you are exceptionally in a master and expert in, the role you're looking for. State your value proposition statement, then have your skills section. The skills section, I would still position it more neatly than what you have, so that's easy to read through it, versus like all of it be clunked up the way it is right now. You have to make the reader's life easy, and presentation also speaks volume of you. You want to show up in the best form of you. So you want to put your best foot forward. Now you also want to spell out how many years experience you have as a data analyst. So how many years, I don't know. So that's missing. Now, when you look at your work experience, I can tell right off the bat the way your resume, I can just see how, first of all, it's so text heavy and everything seems clustered into together. So have some nice white spaces in between each bullet, so it's easy to navigate. The next thing is, instead of writing job description like spearhead a comprehensive data set management strategies, like now when the minute you say you spearhead a comprehensive data set management strategies, you've looped all the strategies into one, but that actually works against you because each strategy you implement is solving a particular problem and gets a particular result. So when you loop things into one thing, The only person that's losing out is you.
Okay.
And also, you don't want to loop things because then you're just generalizing things, and nobody wants to hire somebody who's generalizing things, but people who can actually give concrete evidence that they are getting results, and these are the problems they've solved and solutions implemented that yield this result. So a lot of the same what I've said to everybody else is what applies to you. If
Okay.
everybody just pay attention to how I'm giving resume reviews, you'll quickly start noticing how everyone's resumes are the same. People are making the same mistakes. That's because you're conditioned and programmed to write resumes like job description. But the world's changed. The world we live in now and how companies really hire is not, they're not looking for job descriptions. They're not looking for people who can just do a job. Every company out there is looking to hire the best person for the role that they can maximize and get the best ROI and 10x from that hiring person. So you have to demonstrate the results, which you're not doing at all. Like you have one which led to 35% improvement in employee satisfaction scores. Now, which led to 35%. Now, I don't know what that looks like because I don't have data information that talks about what it was before.
Okay.
At all. So that percentages, when people start using percentages, if you're not explaining the before and after, it gets hard to grasp that. And leveraging our capabilities, is that a typo in there?
It's a skill actually. It's a programs.
Okay, so if it's a program skill, materials on our statistical framework, okay, that's fine. But again, your writing, your entire work experience reads like a job description versus really focusing on the solutions you've implemented and the results you got. Can you scroll down?
Yes, sure.
So you've only worked in one role?
Yes.
So if you're going to write any school projects, make sure they're in alignment with the role you're looking for. So
Okay.
they have to be data analysts. If you're looking for data analysts, then only speak on data stuff.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
That helps?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Okay, Hani, is it?
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, it's Hani.
Okay. Are you ready to share your resume?
Yeah, just give me one moment. Is it visible to you?
Yep. Is this one page?
Yeah, it's a one-page resume.
Okay, so your resume is exactly like the 3 other people's resumes that I reviewed. How about you? I'm going to flip the script here. Your resume reads just like the last caller and then the 2 callers before you. Did you just join?
Yeah.
Did you hear my feedback to the other previous caller? I can't hear you. Hello? Can't hear you. Okay, so can't hear you, so I won't be able to communicate with you. Shirei?
Yes, ma'am. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Do you have your resume ready to share?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. You can please just address me by Gurpreet. No need to call me ma'am.
Sure. Is it there?
Yeah. So your resume is also one page?
Yes, and just
Yeah.
one.
Okay. So I gave the same feedback to the previous 3 callers.
Actually, I just joined and during the previous call.
Okay. So how about you watch the replay?
Sure.
I just feel like I'm just keep repeating myself. Your resume shouldn't be one page. It should be 2 pages. I'm going to suggest you to just watch the replay. Just I want to get back to other people. I do. So even Henry. So both of you guys have the same resume. So this is Henry's resume and this is yours. Both of your resumes are exactly the same. They're one page. So make sure you don't make them one page. You should have it 2 pages. Don't lead by education just to make your life easy. I'm going to share with you how your resume needs to be. I just feel like I'm repeating myself. So just to not to repeat myself, this is how your resume should look like. It should be 2 pages. You want to lead with, you want to claim what you're an expert in. This is a little bit advanced. So I'm not going to go into this hook. You need to really clearly communicate the value that you bring to the table. So your value proposition statement that sets you apart from all the candidates that are applying for the same role. You want to have a skills section. Actually, before I get in, right behind your last name is where you add your credentials. And then this is ATS friendly version. So we don't want to have any columns, no tables, nothing. So that's why the skills section is done this way. And then you want to have your company name and then the job title you were in. And then you want to summarize in a couple of sentences in a paragraph summary what you're responsible in, what you did in that role. And then we want to tell our success stories. That's where we use the bullets to do that. And then we do the same thing for the next role. And then your education gets into the last bottom piece. This is your education, and that's why we have the credentials highlighted here. Your success, the bullets have to talk about the results you got. So your resume has to be result driven, result based, and the problems you can solve versus just writing job description. And you have to have nice white spaces in between each section, so it makes it easy on the reader to read. You have to make the reader's life easy and not you trying to cramp everything into one slide, into one page. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I think that's a wrap. Okay, so I'm going to wrap the call here. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. Thank you for, if you did miss the session, I did a resume review earlier today. If you just go to my LinkedIn and you'll be able to go under my profile and see the videos, you'll be able to see the live videos. So make sure that you catch the replay, because the session I did earlier today in the afternoon, there were a lot of different variety of resumes. You'll be able to learn a lot from that. So make sure you're able to do that. Are you audible? No, you're not. Is there a question you have?
Am I audible now?
Yes.
So Gurpreet, I wanted to mention, I don't know if you have noticed that I do not have more than 1 year of experience. So your advice regarding having more than 1 page of a resume, does it still remain the same?
Yep. Yeah. Even when I was a new grad, my resume was 2 pages.
Okay. Thanks for that.
So
And
yeah.
yeah, please go ahead.
So what you want to do is you want to turn all your learnings, like the program you were in, and position that as all the school projects. You want to position that as an experience.
Okay, I got it. Another question. I have my resume attached. I do have another question if we can have a quick look at it.
I'm tapped out of energy for reviewing resumes, to be honest. Happy to answer questions, but don't have the
It's
energy.
about that I have mentioned like 3 projects in my resume. So is that okay, or should I be getting rid of that? Like I should be mentioning only 1 or 2 projects?
It's the projects you need to mention are relevant to the role you're applying to. So I can't say it's 3. I can't tell you to remove them. is case by case. It all depends on the roles you're applying to. Your resume has to be custom written to that one job you're applying to.
Okay, sure. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, any other questions? Those that are in the audience, tuning in on LinkedIn or YouTube, if you wanted to drop your questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section so that I'll be able to grab them. Connectivity is cracking voice, so hence not sure. I don't know how the audio is sounding, to be honest. Can't comment on that. How to get into the waiting list. I did drop the link and you in the comment section. If you were on my email list, then you got the direct link. But since you're tuning in from LinkedIn, there was a link I dropped in the comment section to hop on to the live call. Just realized you mentioned contact details on both pages. Would you recommend that? Yes, I do. I do recommend having, so that's why I put the contact details in the header on the second page, so that, because it doesn't need to be read by ATS. It's a good practice to have your name and your contact information on both pages in case someone printed out your resume. It's kind of for that purpose only. I know we're living in a digital world, but when I do recruitment, I do print out resumes when I'm interviewing candidates so I can study it, and I make a lot of notes that way. Hi, Venkata.
Hello.
Can I hear you? Hi.
I'm here for my resume review.
Oh, I'm not doing resume reviews anymore. I'm only answering questions. It's been an hour. I've already done for the day.
Can I know when you'll be doing the resume review again?
Don't know. You can always book a private resume review. I do offer a resume review as a paid service. I do a free resume review once in a blue moon, so I can't. I don't know when I will be doing the next one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. We all have no problem here. Connectivity is good. Perfect. So, okay. So if there's any questions about resumes, please feel free to drop them in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer any questions. I still have a couple of more minutes. Stick around to answer any questions, but I've tapped out of energy. It takes a lot to review resumes. So I go as long as I can go. And right now, this is about it for resume reviews. But happy to answer any questions you may have. So just please feel free to drop them in the comment section. Okay, so let's wrap up the session. I don't see any more questions. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want a private review, feel free to message me and I'll be happy to do a private review. I do charge a small fee of $50 for doing private reviews. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day. Or good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Okay, thank you.